rolling, check. Calm and stay on the hardwood.
Pump bacon, rip shaking.
Chillin' with. I be rolling out, rolling
Off
out.
the hardwood.
Off the hardwood, straight.
Coming up on Off the Hardwood, coaching legend and Hall of Famer Lenny Wilkens talks with Paul Jones about his 40 years in the NBA as a player and coach, winning a championship with Seattle, how the NBA has changed in 4 decades, and coming north of the border to coach the Raptors.
Hey, off the hardwood.
Off the hardwood.
Welcome back with head coach of the Raptors, Lenny Wilkens. And Lenny, we've talked a lot about your playing career, and I guess I should touch on some of the accomplishments. A Hall of Famer as a player, MVP in the All-Star game. You really improved your level of play as a player, and now you go into coaching to try to transfer some of that. And people don't know that you took over a team in Seattle that was kind of falling apart and did some pretty good things with them.
Yeah, we were. I feel that I was very fortunate. That team was 5-17 at the beginning of that year, and everyone was saying they were the worst team in basketball and so forth. And I had come there that fall as a general manager and helped engineer some of the trades and acquisition of these players.
So you felt somewhat responsible.
Well, no, I didn't feel responsible, but I felt they were better than what they were showing,
Right.
and that they needed time and patience. We needed to simplify some things, and I was very fortunate I was able to do that, and we turned it around. And that year, going from what people said were the worst team in the NBA, we went to the finals.
And lost narrowly, and then people may not know, but what happens the next year?
The next year we came back. We were very excited about our team. No one thought we would get back to the championship round again, and we did. We got to we got back to the playoffs. We played terrific basketball all throughout the playoffs, and we won the championship in 1979.
Now, the same way that you had learned, you passed your knowledge on. I remember watching that championship series, both of them actually, in this kind of young, red-headed black man playing very well for you, who turned out to be Dennis Johnson. And can you tell us about some of the things and how you worked with Dennis? Because he became a great player.
Yes, he did. When I took over the team, Dennis was coming off the bench, and so was Gus Williams coming off the bench, and a few guys, John Johnson, who I had brought there. And I just felt that these players should be starting. I thought we could have a better rotation if they were starting. So when I took over, I talked to the team about this, and I wanted to start Gus and Dennis and JJ, and bring Fred Brown off the bench and Slick Watts. And Fred was very receptive to it, and we started to have some real success. I talked to Dennis about his free throw shooting. I spent time with him, and we got him up to where he was an 80% free throw shooter. He was a fierce competitor, and so I wanted to channel that. And Gus was a guy who loved to play and could run all day, and so we utilized his speed and quickness and getting out on fast breaks and things like that.
Yeah, you had some really exciting teams, and your coaching career continues, and you move now to Cleveland and Atlanta. But when you came to Toronto, it's the first franchise that you never had a connection with as a player. How difficult was the move to come to Toronto?
Well, it was, in the beginning, it was very difficult until I talked with Glenn Grunwald. And I was impressed, and I'd heard good things about him. And I wanted to meet with the owners, and he brought me here, and I was able to meet Richard Petty first, and then I met Larry Tannenbaum and Steve Stavros. And when I saw how enthusiastic the people were about building this franchise and taking the time to make it a championship contender, I was excited about it. I thought it would be a great opportunity.
Coach, you've played with so many great players, great player yourself. Were you excited about the prospect of coaching of Vince Carter?
Yeah, it really was, yeah, because I had gotten a glimpse of him the year before, and I thought, here's a young player that is, he's just touching the surface of what he can be. And that with some patience, with some guidance, with some prompting, that he could be one of the most incredible players in this game, and I still believe that.
As we move through your experience in Toronto, and you're pushing the same way that you were in a place like Seattle for a championship, what do you see for the growth of this franchise?
Well, I think that we're going to be an elite franchise. You know, it's we've had to deal with a lot of adversity this year. No coach can control injuries, and I think the wrong thing sometimes to do is you struggle a little bit, and everybody wants change. Everybody wants to get rid of the coach, get rid of the players, you know. And I don't think that you can jump to those kind of conclusions. You have to look at some of the success we had last year when we were healthy, and we're trying to add on to that and build this, and so that it's a franchise that's going to be around for a while, not someone that's just going to be, you know, pop up one year and then disappear for the next 10, 15.
You've been around for a long time, and we talk about, you know, going back to the, you know, to the early 60s when you were playing, and you've had such a great run in this game. I know you've thought about it. Do you care to share with us what happens next for Lenny Wilkens when you feel that you've accomplished so much in basketball? At what point do you say, you know what, I'm okay with this, and I'm ready to move on?
Yeah, I think when it gets to the point where you don't enjoy coming to work, you know, where you wake up and say, you know, I've got practice today, I don't want to be there. Well, that's a telltale sign that you're not enjoying what you're doing. Right now, I still enjoy it. I enjoy working with the young players we have. I've seen the progress in a Mo Pete. I've seen the progress in Alvin Williams. You know, I've seen the progress that Keon Clark and even Jerome Williams and Antonio. So I've seen that, and that makes you feel pretty good because you're helping them to achieve their goal as well as your goal. You know, so as long as that happens, I'm going to enjoy doing it. When it changes, then I'm going to look for something else, and whether it's in being a consultant, TV, business, you know, because I have some business opportunity as well. We'll look at that.
All right, Coach. Well, you know what? It's been great spending time with you and learning all about you, your past, and this game, and we thank you for joining us.
Okay, thank you.
I'm Paul Jones, and we'll see you next week off the Hardwood.
Hey, now remember, George can shoot the ball, right? So if he has it, you got to be up on him, okay? Make him a dribbler. We want to rotate. If we double, we have to be in a full rotation, okay? Pick out spots now.